come to save the day.
So what's it like finally seeing like these panels that you've worked so many hours over hitting the big screen?
It's pretty insane. There's not another word to describe it. I mean, it's seeing something that we worked on, years and years ago. It's actually going to make it up on screen. It's kind of indescribable, as you can tell.
Well, how much of your style actually made it to the finished product? Can you talk about that?
Well, I haven't seen the finished product completely. All I've seen, I've seen the trailers and I've read the script. I think that the core of what we did is there. When I visited the set, they had copies of our graphic novel lying around, which was really cool. So they were using it. They were referring to it. I think that you can't expect sort of a panel-to-panel translation like Sin City or something like that. But the core of what we did is there.
All right, obviously, by now we've seen the theatrical trailer, and I want to know what else is it about the film and the comic that people who have never been exposed to it might want to know?
That's one out of left field. It's about a retired CIA agent who did many, many terrible things over the course of his life. But he's a man of honor. He's retired now. He's not about to tell anybody. But of course, it's the 21st century, and new people run things like the CIA who don't have the codes of the Cold War. And maybe they don't like the idea of him being alive out there knowing everything he knows.
Helen, we see that you're rocking the Harvey Picard shirt right now. Can you talk about that?
Well, it was his work that really brought me into the understanding of what graphic novels, graphic books could be. I mean, before I was aware of his work, I always thought of it as superheroes, Superman, Batman, whatever, and I was never really into those kinds of books, and his work was just so extraordinary, and I thought so groundbreaking. And obviously we very sadly lost him just 2 weeks ago, so it's my respect to him.
Now, did he help open up your mind in any way to starring in a movie like Red?
Maybe he did, actually. Actually, maybe there is a connection there. That's very interesting. I never really thought of that. But I think to me, he showed that a graphic novel could be as complex and as deep and as heartfelt and psychological as any movie or any book. So it gave me another understanding of what the graphic novel could be.
What originally attracted you to the project? Were you just, did you read the script? Did you read the graphic novel?
No, I didn't. Actually, when I first got the script, I wasn't aware that it did come from a graphic novel. I only found that out subsequently, which was great. It's great excitement for me. It was the script, and also it was that it was so different from the Queen or from Tolstoy, So I thought it would just be a really fun thing to do, but also something that maybe would expose my work to the kinds of people who don't go and see movies about Tolstoy,
Can you tell about your relationship to the comic book?
Well, it's a really interesting story. It was already an interesting story that had drama and big graphic characters in it. And what we didn't start with all the movie stars that we ended up having in the film. So everybody got involved with it because they liked the story and they liked what the script became. It was a funny script and really ambitious project. It could have just been an action movie, and we ended up trying to weave action and romance and comedy all in the same 90 minutes, and for whatever reason, it turned out really well.
Can you expand on that a little bit? Because you're obviously like a huge action star. People think a movie like that's going to be a bunch of action people. Yet I look at that and I go, you can't be in this movie unless you win an Oscar or an Emmy. So how did this cast come together?
It's a cast of Oscar and Emmy winners and action stars and funny people, and Ernest Borgnine in this movie. Come on, he was great. He was great. And everybody that came to work on this film every day, it was like the Yankees. That was my cause. Everybody showed up every day. They go, now batting for Red. And Helen Mirren comes in and taps her heels and takes a cut. It's out of here, home run. And everybody came in, and everybody did just were the Yankees. Funny, action, different stuff all the time. Baseball team. Baseball. We never played baseball, but we had a good time doing it.
Sequel.
Hard to say.
Just
Hard
play
to say.
baseball for 2 hours.
Just played baseball. That's it. Softball.
Could you tell a bit about your character?
My character? Just a knucklehead agency guy. Sometimes they talk about the agency, sometimes they don't. But he falls in love. A CIA guy that used to assassinate people for a living has fallen in love.
The film that made you want to work with film. What was that?
Oh, I already know the answer to this right away. I just was talking about this. The Al Pacino scene in the first Godfather, where he becomes the Godfather, where Michael Corleone is sitting there and they're all making fun of him, and they push the camera and he says, "But if Clemenza's guys can find a way to get a gun in there, I'll kill them both." There are other movies and there are other scenes that I love, but that's my favorite.
What did that do to you?
It made me want to become an actor. I don't know if that was the right choice, but that's my favorite scene. Go.
Sorry. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
This cast
Thanks.
is incredible. In particular, I'm sure going to work with incredible, but in particular, since Helen Mirren's here, how incredible was she to work with?
Charming. Really charming. And the combination of somebody that's really charming, and did you talk to her? Have you talked to her? She's adorable. It's unbelievable. And sweet, and you go, okay, and we're gonna give like a really, really sweet girl in the film a 50 caliber machine gun and say, rock and roll, turn it on. And you're gonna like that scene. You're gonna like it. And just everybody that came on board the film, which was a really cool thing, a really interesting process. As I said, just came in and just smash, bam, home run. And I'm just standing there. A lot of times, actors, you stand off camera, and you just go, I can't believe I'm in a scene with Ernest Borgnine. I'm in a scene with Richard Dreyfuss. And everybody did a great job. I mean, just amazing. Big fun. Huge fun.
Could you tell a bit about who you play?
I play the character of William Cooper. He's a CIA agent in this movie called Red. And the movie's about a retired CIA agent named Frank Moses, played by Bruce Willis. He wakes up one night to discover a hit team in his house, and he spends the whole movie trying to find out who's trying to kill him and why. And I play the guy who's trying to kill him.
The young villain.
Yeah, he's not a villain. He's not a villain, but it's my job to try and track him down and kill him. But this movie is just a really fun, high octane action comedy with the emphasis on comedy. We've got an extraordinary cast. We've got John Malkovich, Helen Mirren, Bruce Willis, Morgan Freeman, Ernest Borgnine, and it's going to go through the roof.
How was it coming onto set every day for you?
It was insane. It's really wonderful to get the opportunity to work with actors whose work I have admired for so many years, and to find out that they were all genuinely really lovely people was really wonderful.
So you actually get to go hand to hand, toe to toe with Bruce
I've
Willis.
said it before, I'll say it again. Most fun I've had in years was throwing Bruce Willis across the room, watching him smash into some furniture.
Did you have as much fun?
Yeah, we did. It was brutal, but he's not an iconic action hero for nothing. He can go toe to toe with you.
Real quick question. You've been in just a few awesome sci-fi films. When you come to Comic-Con, do you just like toast of the town here sometimes?
I don't know. I haven't actually. I mean, I've literally just arrived, so I haven't been down there. But I'm actually really looking forward to getting on the floor and having a good look around. I just think it's cool. It's a wonderful opportunity for everybody who loves anything pop culture to come and celebrate it, and it's fun to be a part of.